Alright, hey everyone. Welcome back to Accumulated Knowledge with Noah Walker for Team Cardhoarder. Here we are playing Miracles again this week against my good friend Harlan Firer playing Eldrazi. We are in the second match. Alright, he's on the play. Looks like he kept his 7. And our 7 is really bad. It doesn't do anything against just about any deck. It has a lot of creatures. Only a couple lands. Yeah, this is just a really easy mulligan. So I'm just going to mull. Ooh, this hand's great, though. Has a couple of lands, a top, a Source of Plowshares, a Ponder. Great hand. Another plow. So it's really good against the fair decks. I hate to keep it on top because I know that we're playing against this Eldrazi deck. But I'm trying to think, like, blind, would I keep this on top? Probably. I guess most people are playing, like it's good against Death and Taxes, it's good against Elves, it's good against Delver, it's good against a lot of stuff blind. So I think I would keep it on top. It's really bad against like some sort of combo deck, of course. But if they're playing combo, then we'd be dead with this hand anyways. Okay, Chalice on 1, and basically GG. Chalice on 1 and 0. I don't know what the Chalice on 0 is for, but yeah, Chalice on 1 is super good against this deck. Definitely like one of the best answers to just anything that we can do. Top is like the best card, so naturally something that's, you know, makes top not happen is really good. Being on the draw especially is what hurt us this game. If we're on the play and we can get the top in play before the Chalice, then I actually think we're pretty fine, you know. Not a whole lot you can do. But yeah, the turn 1 Chalice it's brutal. So definitely fetching. I think I'm gonna get a Tundra. So the real dilemma here is like whether or not we target ourselves with the click. I think the best avenue for us winning this game is like a slew of fantastic draws, and that definitely involves like taking something from our hand with a click. But if he like draws an insane threat, then we're pretty dead to it. So I think it's a little better to click him. It feels pretty bad, but I think it's the best play. Alright, yeah, so his hand is Chalice, Smasher, City, Waste, and a bunch of cards that don't really do anything, so I'm going to definitely take the Smasher here. I mean, you can actually kind of race this because he has the Ancient Tomb in play. Fortunately, we know that he has a lot of, you know, like extra lands in his hand. So it's a little bit harder to race him here, but looks like he's considering whether or not he wants to cast a Chalice for 2 or something. Just another Chalice in 1. That seems fine. Kind of want to get a little aggressive here. It's not like, you know, the best plan in the world, but I don't really like blocking all that much, just because it lets him draw another card. And the further he gets into his deck, then I think the further behind we are. Especially if we can hit something like a Terminus to deal with this, then I think that's our best bet. Mimic, okay. That card, on the other hand, I could see stopping for. Ooh, a Jace the Mind Sculptor. That card is really good. Question is, what do we do with this Jace? So we know his hand basically has nothing, so I definitely see an argument to plussing here, and I think I actually am going to start off with a +2. Because there are so many cards he could draw that are horrible for us. And I think that Thought Knot is a worthy one for us to put on the bottom. So, and no attacks this turn because this is on chump block duty to save the Jace. I think our best bet here is to Miracle a Terminus. Still. So it looks like we bottomed a Thought Knot and he drew a Thought Knot, so I guess that will happen. Thought Knot, though, not the best card against us here, actually. It's solid because you know, it takes a card from our hand. It helps him continue the beats. Looks like both of these creatures are probably going to be attacking Jace. We'll happily block the Matter Reshaper. Jace goes to 1, which is okay. Shaper revealing Wasteland. Wasteland's a little annoying because you can hit the Tundra. But, we're still definitely alive, though. Here I'm definitely going to brainstorm with the Jace. I considered bouncing the Thought-Knot Seer for like 1 draw, but we basically just need to find a Terminus here. So I'm going to brainstorm. Alright, Force of Will is surprisingly okay. We have a lot of 1-cost cards, and those will just go back. Back, I guess, Spell Snare and Ponder. Play a fetch. Doesn't really matter which one. I'll play Tarn. It sucks that he drew another live spell after we bottomed with the Jace. Because if he just misses for a single turn, then the Jace gets to stay alive for a while, and we just get to start doing a bunch of silly stuff with the Jace, but it's okay. This game is definitely still winnable. It's going to be really hard to win, because we can't cast Top anymore, can't cast Plow anymore. A lot of stuff we can't do, but definitely a possibility to emerge victorious. Alright, deck. We need a Terminus. We need an Entreat the Angels. We need a Venser. Those are our big outs, I think. Click will do. Yeah, a land will definitely not do. So I'm just gonna speed this up and concede. So Chalice is, as we see, a great card against our deck. Not a whole lot to do against it, especially on turn 1. So yeah, again, just kind of picked apart by this Eldrazi deck. I think that with this specific configuration, actually, the Eldrazi matchup shouldn't be this tough, you know. Definitely them being on the play, having turn 1 Chalice is really good. We've yet to Miracle of Terminus yet in any of these matches, which I think is the most important thing. Also, drawing Plow is really important if they don't have turn 1 Chalice. So, like, if you didn't have turn 1 Chalice, then I think that game could have ended slightly differently. But he did, so it turned off a lot of the good stuff in our hand. So we definitely need to keep, like, a Force of Will for something like that. Like, I hadn't really considered boarding out Force of Will anyways, but having a Force of Will in our hand for Chalice the Void could be really important. Because if we had been able to play Sensei's Divine Top or Sword Splashers that game, it would have been completely different. But anyways, that was game 1. Got crushed. Moving on to sideboarding. I think I'm going to try boarding really similarly to how we did previously. Counterbalance doesn't seem very good. Neither does Spell Snare. So the good part about Spell Snare, though, is that it can counter Chalice on 1. But I don't think that it's worth it. And I think I'm going to try shaving 1 click still. Then in comes the Back to Basics. In comes the Wear Tears. In comes the Moats. And in comes the Plow. All cards that are great in this matchup. Take out a lot of cards that don't seem fantastic. The clicks have been, like, really good, though. So I'm kind of hesitant on taking 1 out. But it just seems like, you know, I don't think there's anything that I really want less than a click in the deck already. So I'll try that out again. And let's hope it works a little better this time. Yes, I would like to play first. Alright, this hand's great. It's, again, really bad against turn 1 Chalice on 1, but it has a Ponder, so that could definitely dig us out. Entreat, Snap, Tarn. Snap is really good with the 2 Plows, and Tarn is good with Jace, kind of. I don't know, none of these cards just answer, like, there's just so many cards that you could play, and none of these top 3 answer it particularly well, so I think I'm just going to shuffle. That's a big one. That's a really big one. If for the first couple of turns of the game we can not get blown out by something like, I guess Chalice on 1 is the only thing that really fully like blows us out, but unless for 2, that's fine. I mean, so this strand is definitely getting basic planes here, and then we're applying something and casting back to basics. The second island's actually a really good draw too. Okay, so him only having access to 3 mana here is so good for us that it's not more. He'll probably play something like, yeah, Reshaper is definitely what I was thinking about right here. So yeah, this is going to line up insanely well for us. Get basic planes, plow the Reshaper, island back to basics, and we might have just locked up this game, honestly. It only shuts off 2 of his mana sources, but that's putting him super far behind. And we have a Jace and a Venser. Yeah, this is just very, very good for us. I'm actually not even going to Miracle the Terminus. I don't think it's worth it. I think I'm just going to play Jace and bounce Endless One. And the reason I bounced there instead of using something like Terminus, or sorry, something like Brainstorm, is because then next turn we can set up the Brainstorm, put Terminus back on top, hopefully find a land for Venser, and have the Swords to Plowshares. So we basically got all the bases covered now. Mimic. Endless One for 1. Just trying to get by. Brainstorm. Moat, also a sick one. So I'm going to put back one of the Vensers and the Terminus. Play the island and pass. So here if he attacks, then we can just Venser the Mimic, block the Endless One. I think that we're definitely going to do that too. Venser Mimic. Block Endless One, have a Jace back to basics play. He's basically locked out of this game at this point. Unless we royally screw up, then it's pretty hard to lose with a Jace play when your opponent has nothing, so. And I'm just going to keep brainstorming. I don't think there's any like cards he can draw that really get him back into this game that well, so just gonna keep up the basically I can't lose, so I think since we already have a Venser, it's fine to send one back. And I don't even think Moat is like fantastic this game. Like we're too far ahead for Moat to do anything. But definitely gonna snag up a second basic planes here. Play a top. Now we're just really looking for like an Entreat the Angels or something to close out the game fast. Yeah, none of those cards are particularly great. I almost want to keep the Wear Tear. So I'll put Plow, Wear Tear, Tarn. We're definitely just going to keep zeroing with this Jace anyways, so. Put back a Plow and a Tundra, I suppose. Play the Tarn. I'm just going to crack it now. And this one I'm just going to get the Volk to make sure we have it. And I'll do some looking. Second back to basics. Definitely not necessary. Ponder's okay. Back to basics. Ponder, Tarn. Fetches are always great though when we have top in play. Because it just lets us, reset our top 3 a bunch of times. This one definitely looking really promising. His best way to get out of this, I think, is with something like a Pithing Needle on Jace. But if he doesn't have anything like that, then it almost seems like he's too far behind to get anywhere here. I think I'm fine plowing this as much as it does suck that it's, you know, taking off some of our turns almost with this clock. As soon as we find something better to kill him, we'll be golden. And I think I'm just going to fetch before I cast the Ponder here. Don't want any of those cards. Ooh, Second Venser. Second Venser isn't even that bad. Got a nice little Nambo going on over here with Caracas back to basics. But it just doesn't really matter. There's nothing he can really do at this point in time, so yeah, Caracas. Second Caracas isn't even horrible. Just gonna keep brainstorming, hoping to draw fetch lands. It's basically our plan at this point. Put back Terminus, and I suppose the Caracas. Caracas is like okay with the Venser, but we have another one, so I think it's fine to just do this. Just get all these lands out of our deck. Like top through top. Top force. Definitely nothing great. I actually think I'm gonna Snapcaster Ponder here. And then shuffle these away. Alright. Not much more to do here. So it looks like he's actually saving up some lands, hoping that he can cast something good. Alright. Let's top end turn. Ooh, we found an Entreat the Angels. That's a good card. Alright, yeah, so as soon as we found the Entreat, that was enough for him. So yeah, that game ended up fantastically for us. I think we just had a really good draw, though, with the natural turn 3 back to basics with 3 basic lands, because we were able to fetch up 1 and we just ended up drawing 2. Jace is definitely one of the best cards in this matchup. Seems fantastic. A late game Entreat is exactly what we need at some point. And that game was just basically an embarrassment of riches. Since we got like the turn 3 back to basics, all our draw steps were just like fantastic gas cards that were just all good against his deck, and we just had so many that we didn't need them. We were like, all right, we've got down the control the board plan. We just need a win condition, and that seems to be like the problem most games with Miracles anyways. Is like, all right, you have all this dirtle do nothing stuff for as long as you want, but like, how are you gonna kill him? And you can pick him off with 2s for a while, but finally hitting that Entreat was fantastic. So, all right, that one looking a lot better. I think the post-board configuration is a little bit better than the main deck, so let's go back to the sideboard. I don't think I want to change anything, but excited for this game 3. Hopefully it ends up being a good one. So yeah, I don't think any of these cards are great. Rest in Peace does nothing. Counterbalance does not very much. Spell Snare only really good against... it's okay against Mimic, not very good against it, but it's okay. It's really good against... Chalice, if you can ever have a Spell Snare in your hand while they're casting Chalice. So, like, it's pretty situational, so I think it's bad. So, everything in the board, I think, is fine staying there. The Click could be good, though. Click is actually super powerful. Like, that whole game, we were just basically looking for something like a Click to finish him out quick, so I could see it being right to have this Click in our deck, but I don't really know what's worse. Like, maybe a Venser or something is worse, but Venser showed up that game for sure. He was really good, but... I don't know. I think this is fine. I could be wrong. Everboarding out a Click in this deck. Joe definitely doesn't play 3 for no reason, so. This is a really interesting hand, actually. So I'm leaning towards wanting to keep, because if we ever draw something like a Brainstorm, then this hand is fantastic. It has a Wear and Tear, which is really good against something like Chalice on one. So if he's keeping his hand based off a early Chalice, then this hand's great. So it has a Wear and Tear, it has Terminus, has Top. Yeah, this is definitely a keep. Thorn, a little annoying, but nothing we can't deal with. Basic Island's definitely great. Still, as soon as we find a Brainstorm, this Terminus is fantastic, so. Thought Knot? Ooh. Chalice on one. That's a dirty opener. Ooh, we found a Brainstorm, though. So we're actually doing okay here. So long as he doesn't have an answer to this Wear and Tear immediately, then this game is fine. Looks like a Thought Knot. Or sorry, it looks like a... Ooh, I was going to say it looks like a Smasher, but apparently he had other plans. Ooh. So unfortunately we can't cast that until a couple more turns, but it's definitely powerful. Just drawing a card. Straight up. That surprises me, honestly. Thought Knot. Thought Knot's really annoying. We have to fire off this Wear right now, though. Definitely have to hit the Chalice, too. He'll probably end up taking something like the Brainstorm, just because we have the Terminus here. It sucks that this exiles, otherwise we'd just be able to set up the Terminus again for next turn, but I honestly think that it feels like if we had another land, then it'd just be slammed back to basics. But you just have quite a large clock, so probably not fantastic to just do something like that. But again, like something like Sword Splashers is a fantastic draw here. We definitely need more lands, though, too. Definitely sucks that we're a little low on lands here. It also sucks to fetch up a Volcanic Island here, because I know his deck plays... He doesn't play very many Wastelands, but or I guess actually probably plays 4 Wastelands. I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, so his deck plays Wasteland, so it sucks to fetch up a non-basic. He took back to basics? Okay, so him taking back to basics, I think, is like one of the only ways we can actually win this game. Because now we can cast Brainstorm into Terminus. Oh, no. Pithing Needle. Pithing Needle for the top. Okay. I guess he can't really beat it back to basics in a couple turns. So, like, that seems like a reasonable reason, like, on why you'd want to take it. But I just don't know if I agree with that. I almost feel like I want to main phase this Brainstorm here. So, we almost definitely want 2 white sources in play. I almost want to shuffle away this top, though. But I guess that after we Brainstorm, put Terminus on top, we can Snapcaster, Wear Tear this. So actually, yeah, I think I figured out what I want to do. Play fetch land, crack it. I'm actually going to get Tundra here. Cast Brainstorm, put back Entreat and Terminus. Entreat, Terminus, and play a top. He's getting dangerously low, though, this game. Like, unless he has something to shut off the Terminus here, then I'm a little surprised by the play that he made. I don't think it's very good, actually. Ooh, I just realized something, though. So, that's actually kind of annoying. So since we put the Entreat as our next card on top, we won't be able to Miracle it anymore because we're drawing it right now from the Thought Knot. So it's not like the end of the world or anything, but it's a little annoying. Oh, wow. He had a Warping Well for it. Okay. That's kind of unfortunate, but, huh. That's actually a big game. Kind of stops us from doing everything that we wanted to do. Wow. Yeah, I just didn't expect the Warping Well there, I guess. So that makes a lot of sense now on his decision tree. Decision tree. That's what I'm trying to say. That actually makes a lot of sense now that he decided to do it like that. Because, so let's say he doesn't take the back to basics with the Thought Knot, and then we draw a 4th land. We could maybe shut him out and then get lucky in Miracle Determinants or something. But the way he played, that wasn't even really a possibility, so. Snap. Snap targeting Brainstorm doesn't really matter because he has the Thorn. Alright. Live to see another turn at least. This is not looking great though. Luckily next turn we've got the Entry for 2. Be so great if it was for 3 or something, but it's not, so. Endless one for 3. Why only 3? Oh, because he probably has another Warping Well as his last card? I don't know. So 1, X is 2. Yeah. Play the Caracas, I suppose. Oh. We're just dead. I didn't realize we were only at 3. The endless one on 3 actually stops us from possibly being alive, because he just attacks with all those creatures, and we die, so. So even if he didn't just have the lethal out eventually with the Endbringer, then he'd still get us. I don't know why. Oh, that's for 1. I don't know why. I thought he almost played it for 0, but like I don't know why I played the 1 for 0 the other game. But anyways, I was feeling pretty confident about this game. Our draw was really good. Warping Well is kind of a blowout though in this matchup, so not a whole lot to say about that. Yeah. We can block 2 guys, take 3 down to dead. So it's a little unfortunate. But yeah, I was really feeling like, you know, there was a lot of game in this matchup, especially the post board. Thorn is definitely good, Pithing Needle is definitely good, but I think that this deck has like a lot of really good options. Moat's fantastic. If we'd ever seen a Moat, then the game would have ended, basically. I don't think his deck has any answers to Moat. Except for this Endbringer, actually. Endbringer is fantastic against Moat. But, yeah, we didn't see any Sword Splashers, which I think is really important for winning this matchup. Chalice is the only thing that's really great against it, but if we can just draw a lot of Plows and a lot of Snapcasters, then I think this matchup is much closer. But yeah, we are dead, so you can see this game. But yeah, it's been really fun to play against this deck, though. I think it's a pretty interesting matchup for how, you know, like, non-really like directly interactive the Miracles deck, or sorry, the Eldrazi deck tries to be. It just tries to like, all right, you can't do this, bash your face in with my creatures is basically what it tries to do every game. And that, like, Miracles on the other hand is like, all right, time to like stop everything. Just like make sure everything stops. Play Moat, no attacking. Play back to basics, no using your lands. Play Terminus, no creatures happening. Stop. So like it's just a really interesting matchup. I'm really excited to see how this next match goes, but first 2 been pretty bad. Been getting crushed by these decks. Definitely need to get a little better at this Miracles deck, but I think I've been playing it pretty fine. You know, haven't made any hugely glaring misplays yet. even though I probably have, and I just don't know it. But it's been fun, been good. Let's move into the next match.